Hello LinkedIn, it's Alex here with another how-to video in getting the best out of Sales Navigator. Hopefully you've watched my short introduction to the platform, and now we're going to go through the basics of getting it set up. When you launch, you will be asked a series of questions around what are your sales preferences. Because I'm already set up, we can't do this, but to give you an idea of what this will look like and the type of questions that you will be asked, it's down here in terms of sales preferences. So you can set things up by geography. So if you run a territory, you can specify, I'm only interested in this territory. You can specify by industry. You can specify by company size, function, seniority level, and so on. This gives the system a base starting point to work out what is going to be relevant to you. So much like on LinkedIn.com, where if you curate your newsfeed, if you use hashtags, if you tell the system what you're interested in, then it will start to surface more relevant content to you. Same principles apply to Sales Navigator. You have to give it a base point to work with, and then it will start to recommend things to you once you've saved accounts and saved leads. So in simple terms, a good starting point would be if you can get the CRM sync. If you're on team or enterprise, then that will start to pull through your data, but start saving an account. So in simple terms, if we just go Microsoft, you look for Microsoft as you would do in your CRM system, and we go here, and assuming that this was save, then we just click save. Now you could create an account list, or you can just save it to your saved accounts. So I'm just going to save it there. And now what that's going to do is that will surface everything that Microsoft is doing. You then have your news and insights specific to Microsoft. And we can then look through what's going on. And if I'm interested in account news, then we can see where Microsoft has been mentioned in the press. If you want to see what Microsoft has been sharing, you can then see what Microsoft has been sharing. We'll come to this in a minute. Down here, you can see what's going on in terms of growth. This is a useful metric. If the sales team is increasing, decreasing, if the legal team is increasing or decreasing, or if any function is increasing or decreasing, what does that tell you? Is that a sales trigger? Is that a reason to get in touch with the organization to start to have a conversation where your product or solution or service could support them? We come back to people. This is where your saved leads will appear. We'll come to that in a minute. Recommended leads based on your sales preferences. So if your sales preferences are not set up properly, then this is going to start recommending incorrect people to you. So you can just go save. I'm just going to go to my saved leads, save. I might go add to Microsoft, and then save, and so on. Save Microsoft, save Microsoft, and just save Microsoft. Now, these individuals have no idea they've been saved, but now I can start to track what is going on. Your connections into Microsoft, this will be unique to everyone. So this is how many first degree connections I've got. This is second degree, and this is alumni. Those of you that are on the team or enterprise version, you'll have an extra filter here called Team Link. That will be dictated by the license you have, whether you've deployed Team Link Extend, how many licenses, etc. But it's extraordinarily powerful because it creates a virtual map within your organization of who is connected to that particular account, irrespective if you are connected to them or not. So you can really start to surface things. When I implemented this at JLL in my previous role, we actually were able to uncover an opportunity worth £100,000 based on a connection that was through a university. So not a CRM or an existing kind of working relationship, if you will, but TeamLink surfaced a university connection internally with our organization, and that led to a £100,000 opportunity, which we subsequently closed. So this is then what we get. We can then go into the account. You can then start to filter through this in terms of all sorts of things. So if I'm only interested in those based in Seattle, and I want to only talk to those that are in the, let's say, the business development function. So we can start to narrow this down. And then from here, we get these filters, really, really helpful. So total, these are the people that changed jobs in the last 90 days. useful trigger to start a conversation, map what's going on, track your territory. Mentioned in the press. Again, a reason to get in touch with somebody. Frank saw that mentioned in the press. Really interesting. Love to have a coffee. Posted on LinkedIn. This is the most underused part of the platform. This drives engagement. This drives the conversation. So I could click on Dee Dee's profile here, and then we can start to see what's going on. And we say this isn't foolproof, and we can actually see that she's got multiple roles. So head of leadership group, consultant within Microsoft. But then I can see her Twitter feed. So I can click on this and then see what her Twitter feed is to follow her and connect with her on there. So we start to scroll across on these filters, experience and so on. And there is one more filter here where if these people follow your corporate account, then it will surface here. So you can start to see which people are following your organization on LinkedIn. And then if I'm interested in these people, I can save as a lead, save as a lead, save as a lead, start to build out your network. You can add tags. So you can add these tags. You can create a new tag, create a new tag, create new, and then you can start to mirror what's going on in your CRM system. You can view profile, you can view similar. This is an interesting one. So you can start to work with the system in terms of, okay, well, I'm interested in this type of person. Who else within Microsoft or within, this type of function is of interest to you? So that is setting up your account. So the first thing you need to be doing is setting up your accounts. Once you're in your account, so let's say we might want to look at, LinkedIn. So same principle applies. So let's say LinkedIn is a target account or existing account. You have all this same thing. You'd save it here. You can add a tag in the same principle. So whatever it is within your client base, save leads, recommended leads, through to the employees. Off we go, and then start to build this out. Once you start to do all this, saving your accounts and saving the people that are already your existing contact base, that are people you want to get to, this starts to feed the homepage here and starts to surface information to you, both in notifications, both in the app. If you haven't downloaded the app, has a standalone app in the App Store, and also get you email settings. So the more that you give the platform in terms of information, the more powerful and the better this becomes. I hope that was helpful in terms of a short how to get the basics in terms of setting up with saving an account and saving leads. As ever, thank you very much for taking the time to listen. And until next time.